Well, welcome back everyone. It's a shop update and starting a project that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time. We finally have the shop somewhat organized. I'll show you how it looks after I have done a lot of work. It's been about 3 months, about a month since they poured the floor. There's the floor, there's my loft, my second workshop area, and then on the other side of the shop there's another loft. This was the shelving that I showed in my previous video. It's full. All of this junk here is going to be sold over to that. Well, I'm not selling the transmission or the engine hoist, but from this bicycle over, all that junk's going to get sold, and so that'll clear all this out, and then I have room for these two projects here. I'm debating whether to keep these or sell them, but anyway, the time being, either they'll sit there or they'll sit over in here. But my other two bikes are sitting up front. I put them, got my four-wheeler tucked away, and I have my 250 and my Honda 50 right there. So, and that rocket stove is going up for sale come winter. Anyway, I'll show you what I did here in my shop area. This was kind of made it into like a woodworking area, basically. I put pegboard around. I put that on this side, and I also did it over on that side. Here, let me turn this light on, and we'll be able to see it better. There we go. So I got some golf clubs hanging up there and a couple weed whackers, and but anyway, it's just going to be kind of storage. I got my log splitter in there. I just, you know, I got so much stuff, I just have to arrange it. This stuff just doesn't get used that much, so I can put it in here. I can easily get out my mower lift if I need it. But this side, I wanted to leave it kind of open. I moved my parts cleaner back here, which is nice because it's the same height as the bench. And this bench on wheels I had sitting up next to my workbench up front, and it had tools mounted to it. It has a wire wheel grinder and a buffer, and that deal is going to get sold. It's a it's a little press of some sort. I can't think of the name of it. Got my lawnmower blade sharpener, and I mounted my chainsaw sharpener over here. And I had a small vise that I mounted on the bench. But you see this pretty orange countertop. This came out of our house. We bought our house 23 years ago, and that was the countertop that was in it. And of course that was the first thing my wife said had to be changed. So we did, and I just kept it. For what reason, I don't know, but it turned out nice. Now I've got a work surface there that's nice to work on. I had to splice a piece in here, and then I had some left over, so I just put a trim piece down the front, and this is 3/4 inch plywood. Anyway, got all my tools hung up. I'm planning on putting a 32 or 36 by 24 window right there, and I have another window in front I'm going to replace also with the same size. But got a microwave. All this stuff was sitting around. That was my son's. You don't need it anymore, so it works. But anyway, that's what I've done. All pretty much for this. We're going to get started on disassembling the rear end. Took a bunch of pictures of it, and we're going to drop the rear end and get the frame up in the air on jack stands, get the axle out of there and set it off to the side. and then start replacing pieces like this. I've already explained all that in previous videos, so the time has come to be able to get that done, and then we will get this frame sandblasted. I'll get it painted, and we will then next get this thing all done up and get it sandblasted and painted, and we'll put it back in, and then we'll put the front end on. And all my pieces are over on that shelf. The small pieces. I mean, from about that post there over is all 36 truck parts. And I've got some snowmobile parts down in here, and then small engine stuff on the top. But the other stuff is up here, the big stuff. You can't see it now, but anyway, that's where the fenders and bigger stuff is at, radiator and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I thought I'd bring you back. Like I said, it's been about a month now, and I've done a lot of cleaning. You can see that pile out there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Our brush pile is grown. I had a bunch of junk pallets and stuff that needed to be cleaned up, and so we cleaned up around the back of the shop here and got that. I still got more work to do, but that's the deal. So kind of put a bunch of golf stuff up there on the shelf. This shelf was hidden. It was back behind this, whatever you want to call it, movable loft. And then I put that up there, put a little pegboard over here, put some rope, chain, different things. I tried to put everything in together. That's the point, you know, like your oil drum, and I've got my pans up there. Then up here I've got a bunch of other things that I could lift, and I bought a block and tackle, so heavier stuff I can lift and put up there, and I can take that block and tackle off of there, and I can put it up over here if I need to. So there's some of the stuff. You can see the doors to the truck and a few other things. But it worked out well. I used a 2x10 by 14 foot run across, secured into these 4x4 posts, and I have those secured into the floor with metal plates, and so they will not move. And then all these I don't know what you want to call them, joists or rafters, are 2x6s by almost 8 foot. So, and then I use some LED lights I put up in there. Anyway, that's what we got. Everything worked well. I was able to tuck the table saw underneath. I've got my miter saw there. Got my, you can't see back in there, I got a belt sander, and I got a circular saw, and then underneath is where some of my chainsaws are at. And this was in my house. My wife said it's time for it to come out. It had all my supplies for my detailing, and so we left those, put those in a cabinet in the house, and brought this out. And so it's got my buffers and a bunch of other towels and stuff like that in there. And jumper pack, some kerosene, a portable air tank, and then I've got 3 saws in here. And this is my collapsible Workmate, Black & Decker Workmate. I use that to put my miter saw on. That's it. It was all set up, and I got our little kitty here. He likes to crawl around in my shop. His name's Scrappy. He's quite a scrapper. But anyway, that's all we have for today, and we'll keep you updated with this truck as I go along here. Probably have a lot more videos focusing on that. So thanks for watching.